I'm going to make my 5-year professional development portfolio plan, and I'm going to open up the CDR webpage, and I am going to show you what I am doing. So let me share my screen. All right, so first of all, you need to log in to CDR. So you're going to use your Academy number or your CDR registration number to log in to the CDR website. So it's going to pop this up. It's going to show me that I need to submit my learning plan for June of 21 to May of 26. So this is where we are going today. This is where we're starting. There is some information here. If you've got a previous learning plan, it'll show you what has been changed. And so I looked over this information earlier. The layout and how you do things has changed, but I feel like the general gist of what we did for the last 5-year cycle has not changed. So if you, which you would have had to have been on the old plan, because the old plan started 5 years ago. I don't think it's going to be that different, but here we go. Let's get started and see. Okay, so we had to do this before. We had to choose spheres. They've just realigned it so that it looks a little bit different. Now remember, everybody has to have at least one continuing education from ethics. So you're going to choose this ethics, and it's kind of squished here, but there's a button that says add. And it's going to pull up all of the ethics competencies. Now, I looked at these a minute ago when I was looking over what has changed. I have no clue how you're going to do a 1-credit continuing education that demonstrates and maintains competence in practice. I don't know, that to me, that kind of seems like anything. But I don't have any clue what I'm going to do for my ethics. That's the one piece that I don't know. So I'm going to choose that one because who knows, I can make something fit there. Demonstrates integrity in personal and organizational behavior. Sure, why not? Recognizes and manages situations with ethical impacts. That sounds like one that could easily have a CEU because all you have to do is recognize situations with ethical impacts. You know what? I'm going to also choose respects client autonomy to make decisions about proposed services because I am taking a motivational interviewing course. So that one might actually be another good one. Now, I could choose all of these. I could choose one of these. You have to have at least one. So here's my rationale for choosing 4. I am not sure what I'm going to do. And so I'm going to choose whatever ethics CEU activity comes my way in the next 5 years, preferably the next year. And I'm going to do it, and I'm going to submit it. And so I'm choosing things that I feel like are going to be easily found, right? Ethics, I think, is the one thing that people always have a hard time finding. And so I'm choosing multiple ones. Now, I could create my own, but I think this is a new one where you can make your own statement. Why bother? I've already got 4. So I'm just going to save that. Now, my screen isn't showing all of these very well. I could actually stop right there if I wanted to do 75 hours of ethics, but I don't. All right, so we have other spheres of communications. Oh, look, you don't even have to click where it says add. And so again, think about continuing education, so these are competencies, these are things that we are gonna do, right? So I'm going to adapt communication methods. Hopefully, I'm going to demonstrate effective communication skills over the next 5 years, but what I'm marking here are things that I'm going to do continuing education for. So I'm personally not going to choose anything in communication. I definitely want to look in leadership and advocacy, demonstrates and applies leadership skills, advocates. So I'm probably not going to choose one from there. Although, for those of you who attend my webinars, you may be able to say that it demonstrates and applies leadership skills, right? Because I do a variety of topics that tend to relate to personal growth, personal development, and leadership. And remember, if you watched the first video, if you attend my webinars live, even though they don't have CDR pre-approval, if you attend them live, you can still count it. So that might be something just to choose right there. Critical thinking and decision making. Again, we're going to do these things, but am I going to do a CEU on it? I doubt it. Informatics might be something. I think it's funny that there's an ethics one under informatics, but you have to choose something out of ethics. I'm definitely not choosing anything from there. Research and scholarship. Now, I probably could choose something from here. So I'm definitely leading or assisting with course design and development. I'm not going to need an additional CEU, but if I do a course design CEU for work, I could totally count it. So I'm just going to mark that one just for kicks. There are so many things in here that I do in my job that I already have that plan for what I'm going to count, and so I don't really need to do that, but I'll just leave that one on there. Quality management. That's not really something that I do, so it's probably not something that I'm going to choose on my plan. Now, food and nutrition, let's see what's on here. So I like always choosing something very generic, and they've changed the wording, I think, on these, because I feel like I used to tell people to always put 8.3 on their plan. And the 8.3, that's definitely not the same wording as what it used to be. However, I would say applies current knowledge and skill in the management of a variety of diseases and clinical conditions. So that one's very clinical. It's not as broad as it used to be. But if you attend your state conference, if you happen to attend FNCE or something like that, there will probably be some presentation that would fit into that. Definitely not as broad as it used to be, but I'm just going to add that one. Again, I don't really need it, but I'm going to add it there anyway. All right, education and counseling. I am 100% going to choose something here. So recognizes and applies learning theories and principles in practice. Definitely, I could actually use that for my curriculum class that I just finished. Establishes, develops, and implements program outlines and learning plans to meet the needs. Yep, gonna choose that one. I don't know exactly what is gonna be involved in one of my classes. Provides nutrition and dietetic education to a variety. Yep, I'm taking a motivational interviewing class. Applies behavior theories. I'm going to choose that one too. I could totally just add that other one as well, but I think that's going to cover me pretty well. Clinical care, I don't do clinical care. I do teach medical nutrition therapy, but I don't do clinical care. And I don't think that I'm going to personally do any continuing education that's going to relate to this area. Now, let's say that I wanted to become a certified diabetes education specialist. I think that's what the new CDE stands for, or care. Anyway, my friends will fill me in the comments, but I could use that 8.2 that I chose that was on a variety of clinical conditions, or I could choose something from here that would probably like establishes and implements evidence-based nutrition interventions. Would probably work for that CDCES training, but I'm not going to do clinical care, so I'm not going to do that. I want to look at this. So this really is much more business focused. However, I have been asked to do some marketing training. So for those people who've been asking me for marketing training, once I finally get around to doing that, this developing advertising messages and materials in a professional and ethical manner, you could put my live webinar under that 11.4 if you wanted to. Community population and global health. Again, it's not anything I do. So I'm personally not going to choose anything here. I don't do food service management. I teach it, but I don't do it. So I'm not going to choose anything out of that one. And then organization management, I'm curious about this one. Financial management, project management. So maybe on project management, organizational policies, employees' principles of productivity. So I'm not going to use any of those. Now, perhaps under organization management or leadership and advocacy, I don't know, somewhere, I don't know the best place to put it. But remember, you can write your own. So you could create something about like growth mindset, right? And maintain, oh gosh, I can't even come up with the words. I should have thought this through before I started the video, but you can write your own, right? So if you do attend my monthly webinars and, so you want to say something about promoting your personal and professional development, or, develop a growth mindset, I would probably put it under leadership and advocacy or organization management, and then you can create your own. Now, why is that important? Because we'll do the activity log in the next video, but everything you log has to match to something on your plan. So I'm going to go ahead and click next step. And it's going to show me I only chose 11 competencies. 5 years ago, when I made my last plan, I chose a ton of competencies. But 5 years ago, I didn't know on day one exactly how I was going to get my 75 hours, except for ethics. I know exactly how my 75 hours are going to be met, except for ethics, which is why I left myself pretty broad on ethics. And I only gave myself, a few select things here, because I know that I'm taking a class in career and vocational counseling, and I'm taking a class in motivational interviewing. I just finished a curriculum class that I can also throw onto here if I want to, but that's going to give me well over 75 hours. Now, here's the thing. You do not have to do a continuing education activity for each competency that you choose and put on your plan. So it is totally fine that I picked 4 random ethics things, and I'm only going to do 1 ethics CEU activity. What you can't do is do something. So let's say that I attend a food service management session at a conference, right? Let's say that our state association has something on food service management or on culinary. I'm not going to be able probably to put those on my activity log, because they're not going to tie directly to one of these, which is why I like to keep something super broad. I kind of hate that they added the specificity of clinical conditions to this, because there used to be a much broader one that basically just said maintains competence in nutrition. And so then you could just like throw anything under that. But so just know that you don't have to have an activity for every competence that you choose, but every activity that you report has to tie directly to one of these competencies. All right, so if you're happy with your list, then you are going to hit submit plan, and your plan is now sent to CDR. They used to approve them, but it doesn't even look like it's pending approval. It looks like it's ready to go. So that's it. That is all it takes to develop your plan. So thank you so much for watching this video. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments and I will be happy to address them. Also, so like I said, I know exactly what my learning plan is for the next 5 years. If you don't have a learning plan, but you would like to be more organized and have an actual plan, I have a personal growth planner. Put it in the comments and I will be happy to send you that personal growth planner. I'm also in the process of making a course. So if you are interested in learning about how to develop a personal and professional growth plan, put that in the comments as well. And I would love to hear, and I would love to put you on my interest list. All right, thank you and have a great day.